Hey everyone, my name is the Rad Man, and we are here to try and haul some compost. Sorry about the noise, I'm going near a air compressor. So this is the truck I'm using. Hopefully that'll give you a good view of it. So in the swather, I've just been mounting this little GoPro using a suction cup on one of the side windows. But I don't know, the problem is in this truck, I'll just show you up inside it real quick. You can see that there's not exactly a lot of room. Maybe I could mount it on that center console. Also, sorry if the angle's a little off. I've left the GoPro set for the swather just in case, because it might dry out enough to use later today. But yeah, so I've got to grease up this puppy, and that'll take a while. And then I'm hauling about, let's see, about 15 to 17 loads of compost from a compost pile down that way. And if I do get any footage, it'll be on the little loader I'm using, but it has curved windows on the front and back, kind of like the swather, which is why in the original takes of that swather video I don't show driving up there, because the camera kept falling down off of the curved window. And the only option I have is shutting one of the two doors, but then that'll keep the heat in. So I'll probably see how it goes. If I'm only able to get footage of one load because of the heat, then I'll just show it in real time. Because there's no radio or anything in that tractor, so there's no sound I would need to mute out. But I'm not going to be able to show the dumping of this truck because I'm dumping it for some cows, because we use the really good compost for their bedding. And my boss just asked me not to record the cows due to animal rights people seeing some videos out of context and stuff like that in the past. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed. I need to stop and grease this real quick, but then I'll see you on the loader. Bye. Okay guys, let's see how well this works. Sorry if you're a little off to the right or left. I tried to make it as good as I can, but it's really hard to tell because I lost the password to the GoPro, or I'd usually check it through my phone to see how the frame looks. But so far that doesn't work, so let's see if it'll not fall off while I load this load. So for those of you guys who might be wondering, since I don't know if I'll record more than one of these, I might do a little bit of narration. For a truck of this size, with one of these beds on it, the maintenance on it can be pretty interesting, because it took me about 30 minutes to grease this thing. This compost is really sticky, so that's why I'm shaking it so much. But yeah, so it takes about 30 minutes to grease everything. But you also got to factor in that I've never greased this before, so that was also including the first time I was finding the grease zerks. But yeah, this truck actually is older than me, and in fact I'm pretty sure every silage truck on this farm is, if it's not been on this farm longer than I've been alive, it's at least been around, because not this truck, but one of the other trucks is it's either a 67 or a 77, I can't remember which, but they've actually had to replace the frame on it because a weld failed on one of their other older trucks and ended up completely destroying the frame. So they didn't replace the frame, they replaced the axles and the bed, with the axles and bed which were still good from that truck that had the failed weld. So yeah, a lot of these machines are, at least the trucks, are mostly not original. They're just all-in-one trucks. Then they have a semi that you may have seen sitting around around the yard in various videos. I can't remember if I've showed the yard yet on camera though. It's more than just saying hi at the barn. But they have a semi that's about, I think it's like somewhere in the ballpark of 26 or 27 years old. And they've only had it for a few years because the guy that had it before them was using it to haul a little backhoe around for a custom digging service he ran. And then of course when he retired, he didn't need it anymore. So he sold it to them, and now they have a semi, which is very nice, except the only problem with it is if I'm using this little loader to load the semi, the bucket actually only barely reaches above the bed at full height, so I'll show you what I mean. So that's my full height there. I can see I bucked out some stuff. But so basically, like, I've got my frame, I don't know if you can see it in frame, but I've got the frame of my lift arm right on the metal, which I usually don't do. But for demonstration purposes, you can see how I've got about 2 to 3 feet of clearance between that bucket, and this is all the way down, that bucket in my actual frame of my bed. Their semi one is so tall that I can't actually roll the bucket out all the way or it'll hit stuff, which is why I prefer using these smaller trucks. The only problem with them is they obviously don't haul as much in a single load, so it's kind of a trade-off because the semi takes longer to load and you have to be a lot more cautious with it so you don't bang stuff up as bad. Whereas these trucks are easy to load, but they don't haul very much. Like, I think obviously it's a little different because it was measured using silage, which is a lot lighter, so the trucks can carry more of it. But the semi will take about 1.5 times as much as one of these little trucks. I think that was even the biggest of these, which this one's the second biggest, and the one that's had its axles and bed replaced was the oldest, and it was also the smallest. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, so I don't know if any of you guys are farmers. Why don't you say so in the comments and tell me, what is your favorite brand of equipment? Because my favorite is John Deere, and these guys don't have any John Deere equipment except for a few implements. But I'll tell you what, if you guys have... Oh, that's a piece of metal. I'll have to stop and grab that out of there. We don't want to put a piece of metal in with the cow's bedding. But anyway, so I was really excited when John Deere was announced for Farming Simulator 2019. And it's kind of funny because one of the developers had wrote in a little blog post, or maybe it was either a blog post or a Twitter thing, that, you know, he was thinking that the most exciting thing for players was actually still yet to come as of E3, which he was referring to FarmCon, which has come and gone at this point. And I don't know if you guys can see, but where I'm pointing, there's a metal bar that I'm going to stop and grab before we leave, because if you get either metal or tires in these loads, this load's not as bad if you get a tire, because you can just, you know, grab it. Because what we do is we take this stuff that I'm piling, and then we take a slightly bigger loader than this that can haul more in one scoop, and we just spread it using that loader by literally going like I'm doing with the bucket and shaking it over the cow's stalls. We do it while the cows are in getting milked, so that there's no risk of them, you know, getting hit by the loader or anything. And that's how we do it. But anyway, the reason that you don't want tires, and the reason that you get tires, is there's a silage pit not too far from us, and when you take the waste silage that's rotted from the sun off of it, we bring it down here, and there's actually, I'll show you, there's a pile of it sitting right down there right now that hasn't decomposed yet. And bring that here to make in the compost because, you know, there's no reason to, you can't feed it to the cows, and there's not really anywhere else to put it at this time of year when all the fields are growing. Okay, there we go. This stuff's extra sticky today, but anyway, the thing is that the tires that they use to cover the pit will sometimes make their way over here if you're not watching when you're loading that scrap silage. So yeah, you gotta watch for tires, because if you happen to load this stuff into a manure spreader, it'll gum up the augers and wreak havoc on the flails that spread it out. But yeah, anyway, I think we're within, I haven't been counting, but this will hold about between 8 and 10 scoops from this, depending on, you know, how much each scoop is. I think we're within 1 or 2 scoops being done, because you can barely see a little bit of manure poking up over the sides. That's usually an indicator that 1 giant scoop or 2 smaller scoops will finish it off. And if you notice, I don't know if you can see it in frame, but there's some pretty deep tire tracks. And one thing I'm trying not to do is spin out too much in this loader, because we're actually sitting on about between 1/2 inch to 1 inch of really old compost that's on top of the dirt. And we do it that way so that we don't end up hauling dirt out with the compost. But the problem is then if it rains, which it did yesterday, or if you spin out the tires too much, the compost that you're driving on will end up acting more like mud than dirt, which is what it's acting like right now. So I'll see if I can swing around enough to give you guys a good view of it, but like down there, you can see how I started to spin out a little, and now it's turned a different color from the rest of the ground compost. And that basically it's basically acting like a worse version of mud. Because the problem with mud is you can leave mud to dry and then drive on it. This stuff, if you get it too bad, you usually just have to drive around it because you'll end up getting stuck. Because once you disturb it that much, it doesn't like to go back to the powdery sort of form that's on the ground as easy. Plus, it doesn't help that we drive big tractors with duals. You have to have duals in a 4-wheel drive tractor about 90% of the time to get through here. Right now is an exception though, because we're hauling the compost. But over there, you can see off in the distance, there's a layer that's a slightly different color from the ground. That's all new stuff, and not even me in this loader can drive on that stuff right now, or else we'll get stuck. And I actually did get the truck stuck earlier, but managed to go get it unstuck with the help of one of my bosses who came to help me. And it looks like I should have probably gone and grabbed that pipe because I accidentally buried it. Oh well, I'll kick around some compost before we leave and see if I can't find it and get that pipe out of here, because we don't need that getting in the bedding. And then part of the problem is you guys can't see it from here, but on the other side of this pile, some numbskull, who I won't mention his name in case he ever sees this video, decided to spread a load or two of fresh manure. And the problem with spreading fresh manure on this bedding stuff is then it wets it down, and wet bedding is not ideal for cows because, you know, in summer you have a prayer of hoping it dry, but in winter stuff just, you know, doesn't dry, it freezes. I'm not honestly sure. I haven't been working here for a winter yet, so I'm not actually sure if we still use compost for bedding during the winter. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go unload this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm back. Just emptied that. I'm gonna just load the rest of these loads without commentary, so that I still have a voice by the end of the day. And I don't expect this video will be too long, because it only takes me about half an hour total to do 2 loads, and that was including the very tail end of greasing. So I'll just show you a small time lapse of the footage from me loading the trucks, and then loading the truck, I should say. It's not multiple trucks, but anyway, so I'll do that, and then I'll see you for the outro. Bye. everybody, I'm back. So the reason I'm doing this in real time is because we are pretty much done with this compost. I'll wait until I dump this and then I'll show you. Of course, you guys, you might have, I don't know if you noticed it, but we're about out of compost that we can get to, because the problem is pretty much anything beyond that sort of deep hole I'm pointing at has already been gone through about, and I've gotten about as much as I can get, because the problem is if I mix it around too much, I'll get a bunch of wet stuff from where they spread it on the other side, and we definitely don't want wet stuff for bedding. So we got no choice but to just stop when we can't get any more of the dry stuff without taking wet stuff. But the good news is I was talking to my boss while I was taking the truck over to dump it, and he said that he was actually able to get the swather unstuck, and so he's gonna finish opening up that field for us so that don't get the tractor stuck again. But then we'll go and take over for him. I won't show the drive over there just because it's going to be in a truck, and their trucks don't have any back windows except for just their back mirrors or windows basically aren't very big, and it's something you've seen before, because the very first day I recorded the video, you guys saw the way up to those fields. So if you're interested in knowing how I got to those fields, you can look at that first video. I believe it was of I want to say it was either the 16th or the 17th. But I also made a playlist with all of the videos that I'm going to be making for however long I work for these guys. And I also have a guy in where I actually live, because these guys live about 20 minutes away from me. And then I've got another guy that I help very, very seldomly anymore. But for like hay harvests and stuff, he'll usually have me come help him a little. So I might get video from that, but yeah. So anyway, all of the videos, like this one and whatever the next one ends up being, are all going to be in that real life farming playlist. I think that's actually what I called it, is real life farming. And if not, then I'll make sure I say it correctly next time. But anyway, so what I was thinking of doing is, instead of making this a two-parter, where, the first part's this and then the second part's swathing, especially where I did, a little more talking in this episode than I've done in either of the swathing episodes. I'm thinking of just having this be one video that I'll try and push out tonight. And you'll know what day I recorded it, because that's the date I put in the title of the video, is the date it's recorded. So like, for instance, the one for 2 days ago actually only went up this morning because my computer was having some issues with rendering things, and it was just in general having a few issues, but I got them worked out finally. So anyway, so please tune in for the next video. I'm going to finish this video off with a little time lapse, and then I'll show you a time lapse of where we take this to wash it, and where it actually goes when it's parked. And then that is also assuming the battery doesn't die on my GoPro, because I'm not sure it's going to last very long. And so if it dies and I don't happen to notice, or I'm not able to get another battery before I go out to the swather, then I'll just see you guys at the swather. But if I can do it, I'll record an outro, and then that'll be the end of this video. So I'll talk to you guys again in just a minute. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next episode. My name is the Rad Man. Goodbye.